We have stories of journeys and destinations and everything in between. Whether you are our foremost adventurer of planes, trains, and motorbikes, whether you just take crazy detours to cross the road, or maybe the most swashbuckling you've ever done is your convoluted life path, I'm sure at some point you've wondered, are we there yet? So, our first storyteller for tonight. Janet was excited to bring her new motorbike back to her village in northern Sierra Leone. With just 7 miles to go, she had no idea that sometimes new things don't work as you expect them to. Please welcome Janet Allen with the new motorbike.
So in 1981, I was a trainee in Sierra Leone, West Africa for the Peace Corps. And my goal for the Peace Corps was I wanted to be a gnarly Peace Corps volunteer. And halfway through training, I got my first prerequisite for that, which is I got posted to a village in the way far north of Sierra Leone called Fintonia, and it was far away from everyone else. Perfect. Then, later on, I found out that if we wanted it, we could be issued a motorcycle. That was awesome. That would add to my image as a gnarly Peace Corps volunteer, so I was psyched. So we didn't get the motorcycle right away. We had to go to our village first for a while and get to know people. But then 3 months later, I went to training and learned all about motorcycles. I knew nothing about motorcycles, but I found all about motorcycles, and then it came time to issue them. And then I looked at them, and they were all really sad. They'd been around a long time, put together with wire and duct tape, and I was advised not to accept one because they knew that 2 new ones were coming. And since I lived far away, and since I knew nothing about motorcycles, they said I would be a good candidate. And indeed, that was true. So I had to wait about 3 months. So finally I get to go get my motorcycle, and it's in the way south of the country. So I go down and I get it, and I bring it back, and I'm on my 3rd day, my final day of taking it back to my village, Fintonia, and it's all dirt roads. I'm doing great. I've gone my 70 miles, I've gotten to the river, and I just have 7 more miles to go. And this is not a well-traveled road. Just 3 trucks go up in the morning, 3 trucks come back at night. They can barely, if they ever pass each other, they can barely pass each other on the road. Otherwise, maybe once or twice a month there's a car. Maybe once every 2 or 3 months there's a cattle truck. But this road is not a well-traveled road. And it's 7 miles. The middle 5 miles are forest preserve. It's beautiful. It's hilly and curvy and perfect. As I take my last 7 miles, I pretend I'm a motocross racer, and I'm going along, and I'm having a great time, and I come up to this hill, and I go down the other side, and suddenly my bike just cuts out. What? It's a new bike. How could it cut out? I coast down to the bottom, so I'm kind of at the bottom of 2 hills, and I coast down, and I try to kick it started. Nothing. I kick again. Nothing. I kick it, I keep kicking it, and I notice I am really getting tired. And I realize now, it's getting dark, and I'm in the middle of the jungle. Oh, crap. So I try to figure out what I'm going to do. I say, okay, I'm going to push it up. I push it up the hill. I turn it around. I coast down, hoping I can jump start it that way. Nothing. So now I'm in the forest in the middle of the night, and I think, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I figure I'm probably about 3 or 4 miles from Fintonia, so I could push it there, but it's really hilly, and it's dark, and I am too tired to think about that. And I can't leave it in the bush. That would be terrible. That would just be like the worst thing ever. So I think, okay, I'm too tired to really think about this now. I'm just going to take a little rest. So I pull my bike off to the side, and I put my backpack down as a pillow, and I take a wraparound skirt out of my backpack, and I lay it over me, and I'm on my side, taking a little nap, and I'm down there for about 5 minutes, when suddenly I kind of hear and feel this like hooves running by me. And I think, I don't know what that was, and I don't want to know what that was. I know that this jungle has hooved things kind of like deer. I know there's monkeys, I know there's chimpanzees, I know there's a troop of baboons. I don't know what else is here, and I don't want to know. I just want to go to sleep. And so I do. I fall asleep, miraculously. And about 4 hours later, I'm woken up by lights coming from the hill to the north, and the sound of a car, and it's coming fast. So I jump up as fast as I can, and I take my skirt, and I wave it in the air. Stop! Stop! And it comes, and it comes, and it goes. And it kind of accelerated as it went by. And I'm like disappointed and frustrated, and I'm still tired. So I lay back down again, and I'm just about to get to sleep when I hear another noise. And I think, I think that's the sound of a big truck. I think that's the sound of grinding gears. I'm sure it is. I stand up. Just as I stand up, I see the lights coming around the hill. Big lumbering truck, and it's going a lot slower than the car. And it lumbers, and I'm waving, stop, stop, and it's lumbers, waving, lumbers. It just goes right on. But then, a minute later, I hear yelling. And I realize that the driver and the guy at the back of the truck, there are these people that take care of the load in the back called lorry boys. The lorry boy and the driver are yelling at each other. And suddenly, the truck reverses. Oh, thank God. So then the truck comes back, and I hear this, Kariatu, not you? I say, yes, not me. Kariatu is my African name. Not me. The lorry boy gets off the back of the truck. He comes over. He says, Kariatu, what are you doing in the jungle in the middle of the night? Are you crazy? I say, no. I have a new motorcycle, and it stopped working. And now I can't go. I couldn't leave it in the bush. So he goes over to the motorcycle, and he kicks it. Nothing happens. Then he fiddles with something, and kicks it, and it starts right. And he says, get in the truck, I'll meet you at the ferry. So I go and I get in the truck, and I'm in the truck and with the driver and two other people. And as we're driving to the ferry, the driver says, Kariatu, what were you doing in the middle of the night in the jungle? And again I say, I have a new bike, but it died, and I didn't want to leave it in the jungle. And he shakes his head, you're a crazy woman, you're a crazy woman. So finally, we reach the ferry, and in front of us is the car that passed me by. And the bike comes right behind us. And the motor boy comes and he hands me the key, and he says, you ran out of gas, but you have an auxiliary tank. You just turn it right here. So you can sleep here tonight, and tomorrow you can go to Fintonia. You'll be fine. And as he's telling me this, I notice that the driver and the people in the car are having this very animated conversation that the lorry boy has now joined in on. And they are talking very animatedly, and then they just break out laughing. And I turn to the lorry boy like, what? And he says, they saw you. They saw a tall white woman waving something in the forest, and they thought, there's no way there'd be a white woman in the forest in the middle of the night. That's gotta be a devil. They thought you were a devil. And they all started laughing again. Now, I've had a chance to think about this and really reflect on it. And I realized that some people might be insulted that someone thought they were a devil. But I actually think that it makes me a gnarlier piece of